welcome back to Following No One on a Stormlight podcast. We are continuing into episode 3 of our COSMERE RPG content. Elliot, how are you?
I am excellent. We have beat our first boss, and I am super excited where we're going next.
Me as well. Paul, how are you?
Doing great. I didn't think I'd make it one day to be a level 2 envoy, but you're looking at him. So I'm pretty excited, feeling extra strong and extra persuasive right now.
Nate, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be back playing a RPG again. It's real fun.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be alive on 1 HP over here. Kiffin, how are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, something dawned on me today that if he was still around, this would have been my dad's 67th birthday. And I think it's appropriate to be playing a TTRPG tonight because he was the one that gave me my first set of, the 7 dice you use for games like this.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, kind of a neat connection there. So the day we're recording this, I guess I should say, is would have been his 67th birthday. So
special.
Yeah, it's a good day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, Misho, over to you. What happened in our previous episodes?
Yeah, this is probably Elliot talking and not Misho, but I don't know if Misho's quite that organized enough to be summarizing.
Misho's going to turn to the camera and give us a recap.
little monologue.
Breaking the fourth wall.
There we go. So yes, if you did not watch our first episode of this, well, you should probably go do that. But I'll summarize it here for you just in case you don't want to for some reason. We have established our characters. We have run into each other on the way to the Shattered Plains. Our characters are, we have young Natan Misho, the scholar. We have the cryptic Natan Vamak, who makes things. Yeah. We have the half Thalen Liochi and the old grumpy Iriali Yule.
Grumpy?
You've been grumpy a few times, so I'm giving you that label.
He's just grumpy because he got a huge gash in the last episode, I think.
Dude, you got pummeled last episode.
Got absolutely bodied.
Hold on. Spoilers.
Oh,
I'll get there.
Sorry.
Get there. We bumped into each other. We did manage to come together and save a Shin monk named Tazo from a bunch of axe hounds. After we saved him, he hired us to protect him and help him get over to the Shattered Plains. We worked on that. We did that, and we arrived at a high storm shelter. Kiffin, you have to help me with some of the names here. I believe it was called the Covenant Stone. Is the
Covenant Stone Crossroads? Yes,
Covenant Stone Crossroads, which we discovered was under the control of the Kolians. So we bumped into a caravan with guards and merchants that were here at this Covenant Stone Crossroads. The person in charge there was Borden. We met a few other people as well. Paul tried very hard to sell his rapier unsuccessfully. And then we managed to find a cart. And inside that cart was none other, as far as we could tell, than the Herald Talanel Elin, sitting in there rambling to himself about trying to save the world. We then got called into action because the high storm was coming in super fast, and some of the merchants, their friends, were stuck out in the high storm. So we charged out with some of the guards to help save the people stuck in the high storm. We successfully did this. We pushed a Chull out of the mud. Hoorah. And then we got ambushed by a bunch of what seemed to be bandits, but then things got a little weird because the bandits attacked the camp. Tazo the monk goes running off into the high storm saying something along the lines of, they've taken the honor blade. So, of course, being good adventurers, we chased after, and we are pretty much running through a full-on high storm at this point, only to find 3 very suspicious-looking people who seemingly have killed Tazo on the fields of out here in the high storm. We were able to deduce that they seem to be followers of the Herald Paula. they have some glyphs and colors that kind of match that. The one leader, oh man, Kiffin, you gave us names and I don't remember them.
That's okay. Ilt was
Ilt, that's right.
YLT, yes.
So Ilt appears to have claimed this honor blade, and then of course gives us a quick little monologue and then disappears, leaving his henchman Veth. Veth, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Veth,
to deal with us. And so we had to do battle with Veth, who just about stomped all over us. He knocked Trevor's character Yule completely unconscious, gave him a nice vicious wound over there, and the rest of us barely survived a bunch of rocks falling from the high storm. So we are in pretty bad shape, but we did manage to vanquish Veth right at the end of our last session.
Yeah.
What I missed? I missed anything, guys?
I don't think you really missed anything major.
There were glyphs in the stone.
There are glyphs all over the stone. Yeah,
I'm gonna hang on to that detail forever.
And something at least my character noticed too was a stone rolling around doing rather suspicious things, including rolling in the opposite direction of the wind.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yes. Yeah, that's a good image to highlight. That was the three individuals, and you can see Tazo below them there. And then I'll also remind our viewers too with this one here. If are you on Roll20? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you close that full screen and look at this one, this is just kind of a visual reminder of like what Covenant Stone Crossroads looks like.
Okay.
It's basically just cliff faces that the majority of the high storm goes over around that. Like you still need some of your own shelter. As you can see, they've set up temporary shelter for themselves, but it protects you from the worst of it. And from there, so we something for our listeners here is that the first pocket of what we'll be doing tonight is actually the end of chapter 1 of Stonewalkers. We had to cut our recording right at the end of the fight, so I've already had these guys do a level up process to level 2 with their characters, but officially in our narrative that will go through when we wrap up a little bit of the story at the end of chapter 1 here. But we'll jump right back in. All righty. So yes, Veth has fallen. We did a little improv line of him saying something about the honor blade will belong to Paula, and then he expired basically as he's saying that. And then you guys don't have long to get back to a better shelter from this high storm. So you probably have time to check on Tazo really quick, and that's pretty much it. And then you guys are going to have to kind of book it back to the more populated area of the crossroads for safety.
Can we loot his corpse?
Whoa, I was going to suggest the opposite. I was going to say we carry him back reverently.
Are you talking about looting Tazo or looting Veth?
Looting Veth. The dude we just killed.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Tazo.
He had a really cool sword.
Can we loot Tazo too? Just throwing it out there.
See, I thought that Nate was talking about Veth, and then Elliot was getting all offended by it. I realized the confusion there. That's funny, but yes, you may check his body, and doing so, he doesn't have much on him besides his robes, which are now bloodied and torn from the fight a little bit. But you do find a glyph inscribed dagger, and I'll go ahead and pull that up as well for the sake of our viewers.
Hey, Misho. While Vamak is looting the bodies, can you help me out here? I need some first aid.
Do we have time for that? Maybe we need to make a run for it first.
I think you just have to suck it up, Yule.
I think I'm dead if I run like this, so maybe...
No, it's just...
You'll have to carry me.
All you have to do is wait 22 days. Then you're
right.
Okay, I guess I didn't get that one uploaded, so apologies for that, but I do have an image I can hold up to my camera. That'll work.
And
Is
Tony
there
Beth
some sort
has
of
no marks or any money on him, right?
Yeah, so you've already seen Toln, so the other image on this page is not a spoiler. So there's Toln as card again, but you see a glyph scribed dagger that's
Ooh.
almost like the shape of a spearhead. It's like a,
Yeah.
Is that a
it's
Truth
like a-
Watcher glyph I'm looking at there?
Well, I know
Um,
Paula is a Truth
I believe-
Watcher, but that looks like a Skybreaker. So that
No, I think it's Truth Watcher.
Gotcha.
Fairly confident it's Truth Watcher.
yeah, it is.
All right.
Kiffin? One of the skills that I increased was crafting. Can I take that and then try and craft it onto the end of my broken spear, and then just have a-
You can attempt that when you have some time. I don't think I'd allow
That's
that
what I
right in this
figured.
situation. Yeah, but you can take it.
Right.
Oh, and the other thing to notice that the image isn't going to show you. This is a bloodied dagger, and it's you could pretty easily put 2 and 2 together. This is what he stabbed Tazo with, right as you guys were coming out of the or coming into the area. You witnessed that.
He's
At
been
the end of
stabbed
the
by
last
a
section.
Morgul blade.
So- yeah, but and then other than that, you find 20 marks on him as well, and then that's just more of a TTRPG thing of finding money on people, not necessarily
Okay.
narrative.
I tossed
Maybe-
those to Leoki.
Do we split
Whoa,
that?
whoa!
I scoured you for that.
Five apiece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone's
am
gonna
I
be
the
our-
one who finds this?
If someone's gonna
No,
be our banker,
I looted it,
Yeah,
Okay.
and I just
Listen to me.
make just for funsies. Make a Where's my little skill thing here? Here we
Roll
go.
for loot. Roll for loot.
Well, he's not actually rolling for loot. He's gonna do either a thievery or a stealth for me to see if the rest of your party members are able to notice this. And I'd like the other 3 of you guys to roll a perception while he's doing this. We're gonna have it be a contested fun.
Okay.
fun
Can I
thing
do a
real quick.
thievery? Wait, is this pre or
This
post
is for
level
this
up?
is for you to. It can let's just do it post. We'll just keep it simple.
Okay.
Use your current.
Post-
Vamok is doing thievery and we're doing perception.
Yeah, you're doing perception to see if you see him like slipping these out of off of Veth.
Okay. So
16.
Okay.
okay, and we're
So you
doing
guys are trying to
perception.
beat a 16 with your perceptions.
Nope, sure don't.
So far, Misho and Yule. Yeah, okay. So Vamok, you have these marks, and it's on you whether you're going to share with them later that you have these marks. Yeah,
Writing that down.
that's fine.
In my defense, my perception being 13 after waking up about 5 seconds ago, that's pretty good.
That's pretty valid, and also we'll just blame it on all the rain and wind and everything for the sake of the other guys. So it's not a easy situation to perceive in. But
So-
alrighty.
So we've looted the Veth guy.
Mm-hmm.
How difficult would it be for like 2 of us to try to carry Tazo's dead body back, or is that going to slow
Wait,
us
do
down?
we
too
know
much?
Tazo's for sure dead right now?
Well, if you go check on him, that's kind of where
Yeah.
we need to go next.
I figured
Me-
Misha would be sprinting over there first.
Well, Misho checked on him during the battle and saw it was pretty hopeless, so moved
Well,
on.
I failed that roll though. I failed to really
Oh,
tell
okay.
what was
Mhm.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have a lot more time. Like honestly, the pacing of this is kind of similar to like a combat situation. But I would allow you to check on him again, really quick.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. What do I need to roll?
Go ahead and just make another medicine for me. And if anybody is like actually has skill points in that, I'll allow one of you to get advantage because multiple of you are helping.
I mean, Misho's our highest medicine roll for sure. So
Okay.
I do have +6 in medicine. Here we go.
+6.
But
Good
then
thing
I
you had
rolled pretty low
+6.
for a 12.
Okay, so 12 is actually what I was looking for here, but at least 12. But unfortunately, it's very obvious that you have made him a little bit more comfortable, but it is beyond anything you're going to be able to do. And Tazo reaches out, and if you let him, he takes your hand, Misho.
Yeah.
And he reassures you that you have made his last moments more comfortable, and he says the following: I saw it, the honor blade. The assassins are led by a golden-skinned man. They were too powerful. The storm meant nothing to them. He coughs up some blood and flexes lips before he continues. The blade was my mission. Please, you must finish it. You must unite Taln's honor blade with the others in Shinovar. Go to the boar camps. My stone shaman brothers have hired a powerful ally. Her name is Liss. Find her. She will know what to do. Tazo pushes himself up as much as he is able and falls back against the ground, breath rattling his ribs. He forces the next words out. The shamanate will reward you. This I swear. You are Stonewalkers, but you may be all that stands between this world and the next desolation. And with those final words, unfortunately, Tazo expires. And you do notice that that stone that Miso saw earlier, which you have not had a chance to share that with your party members, by the way, because there hasn't been time for that. But you do notice that stone has revealed itself again and is tapping against your boot.
Against my boot.
Yes.
Can I pick it up?
Yeah. And yes, you pick it up, and there's a slight warmth to it, and there's a bit of a odd. If you hold it close enough to you, there's a bit of an odd, like, gravelly noise coming from inside this stone. And
okay, but it's physical. Like, it's not a spren. I can hold this thing in my hand.
So at the moment, yes, you can hold this thing in your hand.
Interesting.
Yeah.
At the moment. Okay.
Okay. And then I assume Tazo's dead at this point.
So he's in the process of expiring, but as he sees you interacting with this stone, he reaches out with the little bit of energy he has left, takes your hand again, closes your hand over the stone, or you kind of have to let him. I mean, he's weak and literally in his last moments here. And he says, swear on this stone. And he kind of pushes the stone back to you. Will you swear to take up that quest?
Oh dear.
Are you about to swear on a stone
Stone?
to a Shin person?
Apparently.
Can we just dwell on that for a second? Do we understand what happened last time this happened?
Last time this happened.
Well, but there's no owner, right?
Yeah, and this is going to come up a lot in tonight's session, but this is going to be a good opportunity to talk about something that applies to like all tabletop role-playing games. A lot of the time, you may know things your character doesn't.
Right.
Mhm.
So, so we got to kind of keep that stuff in mind. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we could stop and talk 10 minutes about Liss, who we just mentioned.
Which
we probably shouldn't.
We could have talked about Borden. We could talk about Liss. Yeah, we could do that a lot. but we won't.
Oh yeah, Elliot's very apprehensive here, but I think Misho's all in on this. He's pretty young. He's pretty get out there and help people. He just watched this guy
Stupid. The word you're looking for
die.
is stupid.
Well,
I
also
respect
that. Also that. Yeah, Yule's just gonna walk away. He's, nah, I'm out. Misho, though, I think Misho's all in. Misho's like, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No,
So-
don't do this, friend. Don't do this.
As the words of affirmation leave you, a woman's heartbroken voice whispers like gravel from the stone, seemingly spoken from the stone and the cliffs around you. This oath you will not break. and the voice fades.
What have I done?
And and then Tazo's actual last words here. You, my beautiful friends, how lucky I am to have found you. He pulls at his collar, ensuring his face is clear, pointed to the sky. I do not hide my face from the gods. I do not die in shame. My quest is given, and I die among friends. He smiles as his eyes close for the last time, and his body slackens. So now, Tazo.
So really verbose for about to
yeah. He's got a lot on his mind in this moment.
Out of character, real fast. Did we just get a canon death rattle? This question for my fellow players here. I think we did.
This is set between Way of Kings and Words, right?
I believe this is supposed to be set at the beginning of Words of Radiance. I
was going to say it's correctly. Right. Yeah. It's definitely a little after Way of Kings.
Yeah, it's a bit after Way of Kings.
But the events of this story are supposed to be real, canon, if you will, part of the stories. And I know there's an infinite amount of analysis out there on death rattles.
Death rattles, yes.
Did we just add one to the list?
Yes.
I think we did.
I feel like you could say yeah.
Insert that SpongeBob meme of write that down.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Alrighty. So I'm going to accelerate us here a little bit to keep us moving forward. So I'm going to say you guys are able to safely make it at least close enough back to where everybody else is camped at Covenant Stone Crossroads. So you survive the high storm. There's probably some awkward of trying to get the recently unconscious Yule back. You guys are kind of dragging him along, whatever you guys need to do for that process. So once you are safe from that, you reconnect with Ilar, who was the sergeant, if you remember correctly, under Borden's command, and Borden himself, and you're able to convince Borden to hold a simple funeral in honor of Tazo. Nothing, crazy. You don't have the resources for anything super fancy, but a simple funeral is held. And the only noteworthy possession that Tazo had was his side sword. So if any of you guys would like to hold on to that, Borden is fine with that. And then
anybody need that side sword?
So yeah, does anybody want a side sword? Go ahead and mark that down.
I'll take it.
Okay. Go ahead and specifically mark it down that it's Tazo's side sword, in case there's significance to that later.
Actually, yeah, Vamok, do you want this? You've been running around with a stick the last 2 hours.
No, that's true.
I silently move my cloak and show them the dagger, and I kind of put it back.
Oh, okay.
All right, and then Nen, who was the weapons merchant you guys associated with, he seemed pretty grumpy when you first met him, but he's seen your bravery and your attempt to save Tazo, so he would also like to offer each of you your choice between a javelin, a short spear, or a long spear.
Well, I was just looking at the items and was pretty intrigued by the javelin, actually.
I would also like a javelin if he's giving one to each.
Yeah, it's a choice of those three for each of you, so you could all pick javelin if you wanted.
Misho kind of stares at a javelin. He's not quite sure what it is, but he grabs one.
Yeah, and then go ahead and mark those down accordingly. And then Rebin, who was the wine merchant who you saved him and his daughter and the majority of their wares, he would like to, this is only one for the whole party, but he would like to give you all a bottle of Auburn wine. So somebody can mark that down.
I voted doesn't go to Leochi. I don't care who gets it. Just not
I want
Leochi.
Can I have it?
All right, roll for it.
Yeah.
Are we rolling a specific thing, or are we just rolling a raw D20?
You guys are gonna play rollies against each other. Just roll.
You
Alright.
roll a d6.
A D6.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I got a 4. He got a 2. I'm taking it.
Rest in peace.
All right, I'll burn wine.
But I tell him that I want you to have it.
All right,
Yeah,
and then
sure you do.
with the now having time to do so, Vamak, would you like to examine that dagger? And would you like to loop your fellow party members in on that as well?
Can I make a deduction check? Or yeah, I was gonna make a lore, but I don't have that. By the way, I grab a short spear and I nod, and then I go off kind of by myself and take out the dagger and look at it.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, so I have some free information, but you can go ahead and roll. I'd allow. I'd allow
Nat 20,
more.
baby.
Okay, sweet. What did you actually roll?
Nat 20 on deduction.
Deduction.
So
Okay.
trying to kind of, yeah.
So that actually fits in pretty well with this because I think for this, I'm just going to give you an opportunity to hold on to for later instead of cashing that in now, if that's okay with you. So you can mark down that you have an opportunity. And then upon looking at this, so it's not just shaped like a spearhead. This actually is definitely a dagger made from a spearhead. And the glyph etched into it, you looking at closely, you recognize this as a smaller glyph version of this same symbol that was on the 3 individuals' faces that killed Tazo. So Veth that you fought, and the other 2 in the green and gold robes. And you did overhear the name Kayana before, so it's I'm talking about Kayana, Veth, who you fought, and Yilt, who's the leader that Misho had heard of before. And then the glyph, if you well, actually, I should probably leave that in your hands. Do you share any of this information with your fellow party members or anybody else in the caravan?
I'll say it this way. Vamak is not one to volunteer information, but if he is asked, he will tell. So I'll leave it let's do a little scene. Does anybody come over and chat and talk?
I'm trying to bug Misha to heal me, so I'm not worried about a dagger at the moment.
I'm definitely curious. I want to say, can I take a look? Do you mind if I look at the dagger that you found that
Of
Veth
course, my
had?
friend. Take a look.
Do you know what this
Right.
symbol is? I think it's a Truth Watcher thing.
Is that Paul talking, or is that Leo?
Yeah, I was gonna say, out of character, do we know what the Truth Watcher
Um,
is?
Well, hold on.
I
Just
have
as
no
an
question.
aside, the
I'm-
Knights Radiant as on Roshar right now, the Knights
Just-
Radiants would certainly be known. They would not be favored. So you would recognize this as a Truth Watcher symbol, but you would have a negative reaction to it, both of you.
Okay, I realized after saying that, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking in my head modern Stormlight time, like post
Right.
book 5,
Right.
and
Yeah.
not pre Radiance, So
Yeah.
So
yeah.
in order
But-
to see that, there's some blood on the knife, and I kind of take it and I rub it off just to see what the symbol is. And once I realize that it's a Truth Watcher, is that what you said?
Yes, a
Mhm.
Truth
A
Watcher.
Truth
and
Watcher.
You would probably refer to it as a member of the Lost Radiance, is how you would describe it.
Okay.
So I spit, and then I cleaned it, and then once I saw what it was, I spit on it again, and then handed to Iliochi.
I said, do you not want it anymore?
No. It's just
This
It's a
belonged
symbol,
to
yes.
a member of the Lost Radiance. This has got to be worth something.
value. All you think of is money, my friend.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's probably good he didn't get the wine. Yeah.
I would have had a great time.
Yeah.
Well, I
take it back from him.
I hand it back to you. And I say, well, keep it safe. Maybe we can find. If you don't want it, maybe we can find. I can find you a good price for it.
Okay.
Yes, I think I will use it, my friend.
All right, we'll put a pin in that for now. But my next question for the party, and this could be a few of you sharing or all of you sharing, what information are you reporting like back to Borden? Because he is curious as to like, why did the monk run out there? Why did you guys follow him? He's kind of, prodding you guys for answers a little bit.
Can we powwow before we talk to Borden?
Yeah. You've got time to do that.
All right, lads. We need to question Borden before we give Borden answers. He's got what's his face in the cart. We need to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting a little quid pro quo? We give him some information. He gives us some information.
I'm suggesting a little Leochi a light threatening.
Okay. So I'm thinking I asked Vamuk, can I borrow your spearhead again? And can we bring to his spearhead dagger that he found?
My friend, we already have our weapons. And I show him the short spear that I got. Let's keep this one a little closer to chest, huh?
Okay. I was just thinking we could tell him that we found this and see if he knows anything about it. Not saying how we found it or where we found it or things like that, but we came across this. Obviously, that does raise questions. So if we don't want to do that, that is fine. But we could, and that's like that's a good like show to then maybe get some information. But I am more than happy to do a deception, persuasion, or any other type of test against our fellow here.
Okay, let me remind you guys as players, because your characters would obviously know this right now. One of the things that you would be considering to tell Borden or not would be what Tazo said about before, as he was running into the storm, about the honor blade being stolen. Do you share that Tazo suspected that the honor blade was stolen?
And what about this honor blade that the monk spoke about? Should we ask him about that, perhaps?
This Borden guy, these Colin folks, they seem like they're helping folks here. They're trying to do it what we can. I think we need to tell him.
Oh, that seems scary, frightening even.
I mean, it wasn't our honor blade to begin with. I think it was.
We're not the ones who lost
maybe?
it. We didn't lose it, so I think I also think I agree with Misho. I think we should tell him.
Yule, what are your many years of experience, oh Graybeard? Tell us.
Hey.
Just say honesty is.
Listen
honesty
here,
is
young
key, right?
Sonny. Back in my day. No, okay. So we definitely need to ask him. We need to frame it in asking him information and then also offering information. What Vamuk is saying, the quid pro quo, you tell me what you know, I will tell you what I know. We all need to get on the same page here.
Do we ask him first, do you know where the honor blade is? Or do we come outright with the information that we know? Or does it matter?
I think we confront him about Tom, the prisoner in the cart, with the reference of the dagger. Like we come forward with the dagger and ask him what is going on here, because we just found this.
So you are pro showing him the dagger and then asking questions.
But it's more accusatory than anything.
Yeah. What if he got
It is how you say
involved in?
It is how you say your funeral.
Yeah.
No, it was Tazo's funeral. Actually, he's the one.
Yeah, Misho made sure we gave Tazo a funeral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, so it sounds like there's some
the
consensus to share something with Borden. Okay.
I think so. I think what I would.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I think what I would do after hearing Yule's thoughts as well is I would ask Vamuk, can I take the dagger? I put it in my pocket. and I go gently, but not so gently, confront Borden. Say, what have you gotten us into? Do you know where who is this prisoner? I confront him a little bit, make him kind of jump to attention,
Okay.
things like that.
You've gotten enough on Borden's good side by trying to help out around the Covenant Stone Crossroads and making sure other people were safe and all of that. So he has some respect for. Yeah, sorry. What's that, man?
Is this storm still raging? Is the high storm still blowing?
So we're basically kind of accelerating to the tail end of it, like where it'll be safe for
cool.
the caravan to move on soon. But yeah. Borden listens to you, and he, as far as tone goes, he says he's on his way to take him to the Alethi war camps, where he will be put under the charge of Ardents to hopefully attempt to heal some of his insanity, that's happening. And as far as the dagger goes, he takes a look at that and he's like, I don't recognize that glyph. I'm not sure what that's about. And then do you specifically mention the Honor Blade?
I was going to say, I want to ask, can you tell me about this precious cargo that you have? Do you have a hold of this Honor Blade?
It's like, yes, it's locked in the cart behind me. It's and it's impossible for anybody to get in there. It's locked away by a special glyph that was designed by Novani Colin.
Well, either you're crazy or I'm crazy, but we've heard that it is not there. It has been stolen, right? They took it, so
the bandits, like, they hurt some of my men and they attacked, and like a couple guards fell with you guys on the road after you were rescuing the wagon, but they didn't, from what we could tell, succeed on stealing anything.
Well, would you rather show up empty-handed, or would you rather check and see?
Make a persuasion check. Or test. Yeah, make it. Yeah. Sorry, I went back to D&D terminology. Make a persuasion test for me. And I'll say, oh, actually, yeah, never mind. That's great. 23. Okay, so yeah, with that, he's a little reluctant, but he's like, I'm the only one here who can open this. So just to prove that it's in there, I'll show you. And he goes and activates the lock and opens that up, and inside that chest within that cart, there is a cleaver-like shard blade inside. And he sees that and just shakes his head and basically dismisses all of your concerns that something was stolen. It doesn't make any sense if somebody, I don't know how somebody could have successfully stolen this, but even if they could have, who steals something and then leaves another equally valuable shard blade in its place? That doesn't make any sense. And so he locks it back up and basically, like, he's not against you guys. Like, he still has modicum of respect for you, but basically he just doesn't want to hear any more about the theft of the honor blade. He doesn't believe you.
Okay. All right. I definitely would want to share that information with the group. I don't know if that conversation's over, if I need to tell him off some more, but
no, we can
okay.
From it. But
okay. Yeah. I definitely go over. I say, hey, Misho, do you know what this honor blade is supposed to look like? Do we know that? I guess that's actually not our character question. Do we know anything, or am I like convinced by seeing this shard blade in there?
We'd be convinced that.
I feel like because I hadn't seen it before this moment, right?
One quick note that I think we did see, we saw Ilt holding a shard blade.
Correct.
You did.
So we've seen. I guess question for the GM was that shard blade noticeably different from the one we just saw in the box?
The shapes are pretty much the same.
Interesting.
Yeah.
From my 2 cents here would be from what the brief vision or the brief view of it that we saw in the high storm while everything was happening. I think it would be pretty indistinguishable for us to tell the difference. But now I think we as a party would be now convinced that there are 2 shard blades, not just that this one magically reappeared in the box.
Misho thinks that for sure.
Okay. So what do we do with this information?
I would say that they didn't break into this box and get the shard blade. They thought they did. They just have a different one. So they don't. I think that our company would think that Ilt does not have an honor blade, or at least the one that Borden was defending.
Are there some other guards we could question? I guess this is a question we can ask Borden. Was there a guard in charge of watching the honor blade?
Yeah, there's always guards on this cart. Like even when security, so to speak, overall gets lax, like this is Borden's mission ultimately. Like he obviously cares about everybody here getting safely to the war camps, but this is his specific mission, is to deliver what's in this cart and Taln to the Alethi war camps.
Right.
So those are the 2 most important things as far as like his orders go. But yeah, you can take a few minutes and try to chat up other guards and stuff. Sure. In fact, he doesn't, like I said, he's dismissed your guys's concerns as basically nonsense of that, there was a theft, but he is concerned that bandits did attack, especially during a high storm, which is still confusing to everybody. So you have noticed in this time of discussing amongst yourselves that he has doubled the number of guards around those carts. So, but yeah, so go ahead and make a persuasion check for me. Whoever is going to try to convince some guards to talk to you and see if they'll tell you anything else.
I can do it.
All right.
Yeah, Misho is garbage at persuasion, so he tells Yule to go, hey man, if you can go get some information out of those guards, I'll heal you. How about that?
Bad news for my
Rookie
broken
persuasion
chest here.
numbers.
I rolled a 10.
All right. Well, everyone is a little grumpy and exhausted as far as these guards go. They lost a few men. They're dealing with some exhaustion from dealing with the high storm, but you do get just enough out of them to find out that there was a woman with the bandits that got pretty close to this cart during all the chaos of the bandit attack. Nobody was able to see, it seemed like she just retreated along with the rest of the bandits, but there was a particular woman that a couple of them got a glance of that stood out to them in the moment, but then she was gone, before more investigation could happen.
Don't know if that gives us much. We already saw the woman.
Alrighty. And you do have enough favor with Borden where he is completely fine with you guys staying with the caravan to go to the Alethi war camps. And since Misho has sworn that he's taking up Tazo's quest, that's at least where Misho's going. Yeah.
That's definitely where I'm going. That's where I'm going anyway for my long lost children.
Right.
Misho's also like fairly open person, so I have shared the information about the stone with the rest of you guys. I've shown you the strange buzzing worm stone.
I'm specifically not sharing my info that I know about Shinovar because I grew up next to Shinovar with Misho. I don't want to scare him.
All right.
Not the oath stone that I just took
Correct.
out.
I'm specifically not sharing tales of oath stones with you.
Is now a good time for me to try to heal Yule? Are we in a bit of a pause?
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is narratively, you're going to be looking after him, but I'm also going to consider the time it's going to take the party and the caravan to go from here to the Alethi war camps.
22 days.
As a long rest.
Okay.
So Misho still has that injury, because unless that can be dealt with, that is going to heal naturally, as mentioned, in 22 days. But otherwise, everyone gets their health back and their focus back, and long rest occurs. So basically, anything you've used up, comes back.
How many days are we talking?
Does it give me a time for that? That's a good question. So let's see here. High storms weathered. Several days of blessedly uneventful travel, so it's fairly vague. But
yeah, high storms are roughly every 10 days, and if we didn't get a high storm, that would probably be like 8 days.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
Because we just had a high storm. Yeah, let's do 8 days.
Okay,
I think I can make a medicine check to try and heal his injury.
Yeah, I believe you can. There's a specific thing on that, and I'm trying to remember how that works.
I found it earlier when I was looking up. It's on page 63. By the way, there's a fun picture of Lift in here in the book.
Cool.
Oh yeah. I remember across that one. There's some pretty fun ones.
Yeah, Nate's got it. During a long rest, you can make a DC 20 medicine check test to treat an ally's injury.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so give me just a second.
On a success, the duration of a shallow or vicious injury is reduced by 1d4 days. Okay, so I can't heal you, but I can reduce maybe 1d4. That's not a lot.
1d4 days or 1d6
well,
days?
it's 1d4 plus your medicine, right? Because you add it to rolls. Like it's like an
That's not
attack.
what I'm reading.
I don't think so. That's just specifically damage that works that way.
Okay. Well, what's healing if not negative damage?
Yeah, you can definitely give it a try. And yeah, you need a 20 or greater for that.
Yeah, 20 looks like 20 or greater. And then if I'm successful, it'll just reduce his injury by 1d4 days.
Correct.
All right. So can I go ahead and do that now?
Roll good.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. We do have a lot of medicine power. Okay. This is me blowing on my virtual dice, rubbing them, tossing them in the air. Here it comes. Wah. Okay.
Yeah.
I attempt to heal Mr. Yule over there, but I only roll 11.
In your defense, there's not much you can do for an impact crush wound from a rock. So
Yeah.
you kind of just have to let me heal.
Yeah. That's true. Alrighty. So yeah, you can lower it sounds like you already did, but you can lower that by 8 days.
Yes. I lowered it to 14.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. And for those for our listeners and for you guys, in here would be the official end of chapter 1, and the players would then do the level up. We've just done it, so we don't have to take the time during our recording for that. Alrighty, so you all have arrived along with the caravan at the Alethi war camps. And in this chapter, we're going to be exploring the Alethi war camps, and the overarching mission is going to be for Misho and the rest of you to find this contact that Tasso has mentioned. So you're going to be looking for lists throughout this. And let's see here. I'll introduce the Shattered Plains with this little bit of narration here. With quiet determination, the caravan drives through the unclaimed hills to the Shattered Plains. Here, Deep chasms scar the lands, breaking the terrain into an endless expanse of arid plateaus. You travel onward to your destination at the western edge of the plains. 10 enormous craters, each occupied by a war camp from which the Alethi wage war against the Parshendi. Further to the west, a small market town collectively serves the camps, and the king's palace looms over all of them. All right, and I believe I asked before we started our recording, Leochi, you as an Alethi would know this information, that the high princes that are camped here are Royan, Sadius, Aladar, Kolin, Vama, I believe is how you say that one, Ruthar, Thanendal, Hatham, Bethab, and Sabariel. And you would also know their locations going from like north to south as well. And then as you are with the caravan entering the Kolin war camp in particular, I'll share this information. The Kolin run camp runs on precision and discipline. The barracks are built into soul-cast stone buildings in straight regimented rows. The sections of barracks form a rough circle around a central command complex, which houses the Kolin officers and their families. Sergeant Alar barks orders for the Alethi soldiers to hurry their prisoner to High Prince Dalinar, though the soldiers wait for a nod of approval from Borden before seeing to their task. Borden himself peels away from his troops to offer you a terse farewell. If you want a meal and some rest before you go on your way, you're welcome to join the troops at the mess hall. After that, what's next for the four of you? He's asking that.
Well, I'm on a newfound mission to find the honor blade and return it to the Shin people. I've sworn it. I'm also on the lookout for my mom, actually. I'm hoping there'll be maybe some Natan people here. We're not that far from New Natanan. I don't even remember my hometown. New Natanan.
It's been a while, huh, Misho?
Yeah, apparently. Maybe she'll be here.
Speaking of mothers, does anyone know where I could find a span read? I need to give my mom a quick span read writing. Miss her.
Come with me, friend. Come with me. And Vamak, using his knowledge of workmen and being involved in merchants, growing up with leatherworkings, has kind of found his way to someone selling something, and he starts to barter, starts to talk about at least letting someone borrow this span read.
Yeah, sure. I'll actually say that you're talking to a merchant, and you kind of get the same info that Borden actually can also provide you. He says that you'll probably want to find Brightness Bettany. She's a scribe for Dalinar here in the war camps, and she fancies herself a librarian, as you, at least as close as you can get out here on the plains.
Thank you, my friend. And I go to shake his hand, and I palm him 1 mark.
Okay.
Kiffin,
Yes.
on my character sheet, one of my goals is reach the Shattered Plains to find my runaway twins. Do we achieve anything for achieving a goal on our sheet?
You do, yes. That is something I probably need to do a little bit more research on, though, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, if you need to do it later, I just want you to know that it is on my sheet.
Yeah, I will mark that down, though, because that is a really good thing for me to know.
You found them already?
No, I have 2 goals.
Well,
Find my
reach
twins.
the Shattered Plains, yeah.
Right, reach the Shattered Plains is my immediate goal, which I did.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Y'all have goals. I didn't do any of that.
Yeah, and
yours is to fit as many 6-7
Make
jokes
money.
in every conversation as you
Yes.
can.
Liuchi.
Get 67 marks.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, the goals and stuff in the system, the little bit I do remember reading up on are a pretty cool thing, and the obstacles can also be a pretty cool thing. Like to be able to try to overcome your character's obstacles is pretty cool too. But
So, am I able to talk to Bethany?
you guys can try to go find her, yes. But I'll just throw this in here. You guys do realize that somewhere in here you're going to have to find a place to stay while you're in the war camps. So kind of realizing that within your conversation with Borden, he tells you, I'll send word to set you up with a room at the Ornery Chol here at camp, and let's just say the first night's on me. And at that point, I will actually, let's see, I've got a visual. Let's throw this guy up here. Yeah, there we go. If somebody wants to pull Roll20 back up.
Always love a good map.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is going to be another one of those cases where a little bit of player knowledge versus character knowledge. You guys can see the layout of this here. There we go. Yeah, so all of these labels are here for like player reference, but you guys don't necessarily as characters know where all of this is. But this gives you a good idea of kind of the layout of the Colon War Camp here.
Cool.
Yeah.
What was the place we're staying called? The Ornery Chol?
The Ornery Chol, yes, that's in that top left corner there.
Okay.
They go there at some point in the books. I don't remember when.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't remember that either. It sounded familiar when I was reading up on all this stuff. But alrighty, yeah. So that's where we are. We're in the war camps, and then yeah. So he's covering the first night there, but now, so to give you guys a quick rundown, there's markets, there's the Ornery Chol, which is a tavern basically. There's workshops. There is, yeah, and so basically your guys' goal here is going to be to search around the war camps in various different ways and try to find leads on lists to try to locate her. And you guys can kind of do this in like whatever order you like. But I would suggest, since that's already of interest for Leochi's backstory, why don't we start by having you guys try to locate Bethany, if that works for you guys.
Okay.
I'd be happy to. Am I able to ask the guy who Vamak just spoke to? So,
Yeah.
thank you so much for your help. Where could I find Bethany?
Yeah, you can do that. She takes you. Or sorry, he tells you that. Sorry, there's a lot of page jumping around in this chapter because it's literally like you could do this in any order situation. Let's see here. Yeah, so they send you to the right area of the war camps, and let's see here. So in this part of the war camps, you find a light-eyed Alethi woman wearing a teal hava, busy at a desk covered with scattered books and paper notes. The sleeve of her safe hand is frayed from overuse, and her black hair is falling out of its pins. By the almighty, she sighs, I hope you've come here with a new ruby or two.
Leochi, I'll hand you the Auburn wine.
Of course. Why don't we share a drink? Can I use up the wine in this moment or something? I probably don't have any glasses. Maybe that's not practical.
She says maybe if you caught me in my off hours, but I've got far too much work to do for a drink right now. But this is so frustrating. The span reed I need is broken. There should be the right parts around here somewhere. And you can tell that she's just very frustrated with the disorganization she's caused over time around her. And so, but do you just straight up ask her to if you can use a span read, or?
I was gonna say, I ask if there's anything I could do to help with this in exchange for using the span read.
Can I make a crafting check to see how broken this span read is?
Yeah, that's a good
See if I
question.
can fix it.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make your crafting.
Okay.
With that, do we know what? I'll let the crafting check go through, but I'm wondering.
12.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. So you can see that the span read is missing the rubies that she's referring to. And without those, this particular span read is not going to be not going to function.
Okay. Do we know how much a ruby would cost to replace? Or is that something I'm gonna have to find out later?
Could look that up real quick, but you also see like scattered around and everything that it's possible she has what she needs and it's just buried in all the clutter in here.
Okay.
So if you so she gives you a few options. She's like, you can either help me fix this, you can find my rubies, or you can deliver some of these missives around the war camp that are supposed to be being delivered by span read, but I can't do it because it's broken.
Who's got a perception? Who's got high awareness? We need to look for these rubies.
I have quite low
While she's-
awareness. Yeah.
While she's talking, I make a perception check. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing.
Ooh.
22.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, with that
Literally, as soon as she says it's here somewhere, you see Vamak just like look around, and then he moves two things and pulls it out.
right. So underneath a stack of her papers that you have to shift, you kind of see like the curve of the stack, like there's something underneath them, and you shift it, and sure enough, you find the ruby that she's one of the rubies that she's looking for. And then it will require it looks like there is also something else wrong with the span read, so it will require a crafting roll to put this back together. Yeah, and I'll give you advantage on this though, because you've already like looked at it and you kind of see like what needs to be done. Good.
Okay, wow.
Good rolls.
I'm using all of my
Coming
good rolls
super hot
on
with the
a
roll.
span read.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, you do find, you are able to fix that. You're able to get that ruby put back in place where it's supposed to be, and to circle back to Paul's question, she is happy to let you use this span read to call your mother if you like.
I would absolutely love to.
Yeah.
So I sit down, set up my paper. I say, "Don't worry, this won't take me too long." But I ask them not to look while I'm writing. And I'm super suave as I do it. It'll just take a moment. It's just really important business.
Yeah.
It'll be over shortly. I just have to send an urgent message.
Speaking of this, did we figure out which of your characters like know how to write? Like, did we figure that out?
Oh,
Well, okay, hold on. There's a difference between women's script and glyphs. Most professional men would know glyphs, which is what Paul's doing.
That's fair. Okay, that's a good point. That's
only Misha would know women's script, I think, here.
Gotcha.
I completely forgot about that as an aspect of this world. Wow.
Yeah.
Out of touch.
Yeah.
Okay. While Leochi is writing out his glyph message to mommy, can I ask Brightness Bethany if she is familiar with anyone by the name of Liz?
Yes, you may. Let me get back to the beginning of this here.
And while I do that, I kind of throw my arm around Vamak's shoulder to kind of lean on the fact that Vamak just helped, fix her big problem that she had. So I'm trying to kind of help her remember that she kind of owes us one.
Okay. Yeah. She says that I don't know anyone by that name, but well, actually, yeah. Do you share? So you say you're looking for someone named Liz.
Yep.
Do you share anything? Well, I'm going to say you would have had to, otherwise this the way this is written just doesn't even make sense. You share, even if it's the most vague thing because you're keeping it mostly to yourself. You at least mention the Shin.
Sure.
With that, because otherwise this literally doesn't make sense. So she tells you that I don't know anybody named Liz, but I did hear recently about a Thalen menagerie owner who won some strange chicken while gambling with a mysterious Shin that came into the camp.
A Thalen menagerie with a new chicken. Where can we find this menagerie?
I believe that he's set up in the outer market, between here and town.
Okay. All right. Well, you've been very helpful. I mean, we've been very helpful. Thank you for repaying us.
Well,
Yes, thank you for fixing my span read. Now I can get some of these missives out and get back to work.
Can you all ask her if she's seen any Eerie in camps?
Any Eerie here? I don't recall seeing any Eerie here. Can't even think of the last time I've seen an Eerie. But perhaps somebody at the sorry, map again. Perhaps somebody in the Devotery of the Mind or the Temple Complex might know more than I do.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
and as this scene plays out, none of the characters see what I've written for my important business letter. But if you're watching the movie and you pause and you took a glance at the paper, you would see that it reads something along the lines of, "Dear Mommy, everyone here has been so kind, but they're a bit uglier than the people I like to associate with. I hope you've been enjoying the weather this time of year. I know it is lovely. Your darling boy, 6'7". And then
Yeah, if we were doing like some kind of long-term homebrew campaign, like this would have to come up like every once in a while.
If we ever
to mom,
if we ever met your parents, I'd have words with naming you 6'7". Just saying.
it's a different language.
Right.
It's cooler there, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. On the way out, am I able to ask Bethany if she would offer a tip for our help with the span read on the way out the door? If she has anything to spare for some travelers who were kind enough to help with her span read.
Make a persuasion check. Oh, and I forgot. Actually, I have an image of her. Yeah, there we go. So if somebody wants to zoom in on that, that's Bethany.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dearest Bethany, let's see what we have here. Persuasion. Okay. Ooh. Okay, 15.
You can tell that now that her span read is working, she's like very much gone like back into work mode. So she gives you 3 marks and like shoos you out. She's like, I've got too much to do. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure meeting you. I hope to see you again. And I'm out of there.
All right. Sounds good. Alrighty, and then Trevor, I would probably cut an episode about right here.
That's fine with
Yeah.
me.
Cool.
All right. Thanks for joining me, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Fireworks.